wearing balaclavas, carrying hammers, raiding this jewellery store in broad daylight. But why did they run out after just 15 seconds? And did the staff remain unscathed? Here's what happened.
The four masked individuals were heading straight for the goldsmith's jewellery store on Market Place.
It was just an ordinary day, like we have every day at work.
I'm glad I was there, because I think I'd have probably felt really awful had I not been there.
I'm glad I wasn't on my own, on the floor.
The four masked robbers had been caught on camera making their way to the store. Now the shop's CCTV would capture what happened next.
I was actually walking towards the office and I just heard a noise behind me.
One of them came towards us, saying to get down on the floor, so I turned around, put Laura down on the floor, got my arm over her, and then just made sure we stayed down. Petrified,
Shaking from head to toe, and felt like I had pins and needles in my hands, and I felt unreal. Felt like I was in a dream, and it wasn't nice.
The four robbers had brought in hammers and crowbars to try and smash and grab the jewellery, but they faced a problem.
It's toughened glass, so I think they were frustrated as well at the fact they couldn't get into the counters. Matt, we're being done over.
I stood and looked in the doorway and I could just see this gang of men in masks with hammers making a really loud noise. And at that point, I saw Joe reaching for a key fob to set the alarms off.
For all their ruthless determination, there was one thing they hadn't anticipated.
As soon as you press that alarm, the alarms go off, the smoke comes off, and at that point, the lads in the shop just legged it.
Back in the control room, eagle-eyed CCTV control operator Jane is tracking their getaway.
There's smoke gone off in Goldsmith's Jewellers. They've actually run out now, and I can see them getting into what looks like a dark-coloured vehicle, and it looks like it's a Volkswagen Golf. We turn other cameras round, and then they go over the grass verge and into traffic onto Riversway, and we're monitoring still on camera and relaying all this information to Wigan Police.
This time, the robbers fled empty-handed, but the gang of four are still on the run. We need your help to catch them.
Well, a security smoke device saved the day on that occasion, and Dave's going to experience that first-hand for himself in a moment. It could be quite dramatic, but with me is Len and Laura, the shop assistants in the store. Laura, last time we saw you were carrying frightened on the floor. Are you okay now?
It was a scary experience, but I've put it behind me now.
You've put it behind you. I'm glad to hear it. Len, this isn't the first time the store has been raided, is it?
It's not. It was raided in December 2009. It was a slightly more sort of high-scale raid where there was guns and they went straight for the high-value product. The second raid was a bit more amateurish in that respect, and they managed to not make away with anything.
So you don't believe they knew what they were doing, this lot?
No, it seemed very much like the first sort of things they've been doing.
Well, the security smoke device, as we said, saved the day. And Dave is in the store now with the managers, and he's going to experience it for himself. Let's have a look.
Well, so I'm told anyway, Miriam. Yes, this is Matt and Joe. You were obviously in on that day. When something like that happens, what goes through your mind? First of all, somebody's come in and they've made it clear they're going to rob the place. It's
just not a thought process at all. It's just a case of getting the PAs off as quick as they can and getting the smoke screen off as quick as we can and making sure everybody's OK.
And on that day, you were in the shop, you ran to the back straight away and said, we've got a problem.
Yeah, as soon as I saw them come in, just ran straight to the back.
What was it that made you realise there was something going to happen?
At first I didn't. I double took, and then I realised I saw the masks and I saw the hammers, and then I just ran straight to the back. It was just instinct.
This was a fairly crude attempt to robbery, as we've heard, compared to the one you'd had here previously. Yeah. You knew that you had the smoke screen. When that comes down, and we are hopefully going to see it very shortly, when it comes down, it's very, very quick, isn't it? Literally seconds.
Yeah, it's about 2-3 seconds, and then it's deployed, and then the whole shop's filled with smoke.
So the idea is to completely disorientate. And it worked on this occasion, presumably once this came down. How quickly were they out of the store?
If you see the footage, as soon as the smoke hits one of the chaps' heads, as soon as it hits his head, they're all off, because they know once they get trapped inside the store, you're stuck, basically.
And you were saying that when it fills the shop, and it fills the shop, it's a sizable shop, it fills it very quickly. Even you as members of staff can't find your way around because there are display cases, there are pieces of furniture.
Absolutely. I did bang my head on the door going back into the office.
Has it kind of made you nervous working in a jewellery shop?
No. To be honest with you, I didn't think about the threat beforehand, and I don't particularly think about it now. I just get on with it.
Now, you've got these things around here. These activate it. So, I think this is the moment of truth. Fingers crossed. It's live TV. Give it a press. Let's see what happens. Oh, there we go. Out comes the smoke. And it does come out very quickly. And was expecting an alarm to go as well. I think we'll hand out to Miriam. Because I'm choking in here. Miriam.
It's filling up really quickly. I'm glad I'm not in there. With me now is Detective Constable Suzanne Rigby, who's leading this investigation. How close are you to catching those responsible?
We're getting very close to those responsible for the offence. We've got inquiries ongoing with the vehicle that was used in the robbery and also this bag that was left behind at the scene of the robbery. We're quite keen to locate the people who sell these kind of bags.
Look how quickly that store is filling up with the smoke. So you've got that bag. What about the car the gang made away in?
The gang made away in a Volkswagen VW Golf in dark blue with 57 in the number plate. We're keen to see anybody who saw that vehicle driving around the Wigan area around the time of the robbery.
Because people might have seen them putting their balaclavas on.
They may have seen them prior to the offence, yes.
And you found that car. Was there anything in it that could help you with your investigation?
There is possible forensic inquiries within the vehicle, yes.
Is there anything about the robber's profile you can tell us about?
We know that they appear to be quite young males by their appearance and the demeanour at the robbery, and we believe them to be from the Wigan area with possible links to Liverpool as well.
Very good. Thank you very much, Suzanne. So if you can help, the number is on the screen now, but I've got to open the door because otherwise Dave won't be able to get out.
I think you can see, actually, that I can't see, and out we come through the door, into the daylight. It was like being in some sort of cheap 1980s retro disco. It wasn't really choking, it didn't really affect the lungs at all, but extremely effective. Filled it in just a matter of seconds there. You can see it coming out of the door. So, that's the smoke screen.